everybody, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here for the weekly reading for Twin Flames for the week of June 26th to July 2. Okay, so I know it's a different background, and I spelled something on the other one that had to go in the wash, and so please bear with me. It's quite bright for a background. Anyway, it's after solstice, and I know everyone has had their individual experiences after the solstice and the new moon, and I'll leave you to that. This is all just us anchoring in for the new energies. It's the start of summer in the other parts of the world, but in my part of the world, it's the beginning of monsoon season, typhoons and all that. And it is actually something welcome after all the heat. But you can see how the earth, Mother Gaia, balances itself out. Just with all this change of seasons in various parts of the world. Okay, so anyway, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them, and at the end, the bottom of the deck here we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, this indicates here we have a sword pointed downward and a sword pointed upward, and we have messages. So again, this is just saying that there are still things that need to ripen, and that's why we're being given messages about that. And this is concerning the forward movement of the divine masculine or the divine feminine. It depends on your case. Okay? And you can see here this knight, he's drenched in the rain. So it is also a very emotional time for them. But he is now, or he or she is now in that state wherein they're open to receiving and making themselves vulnerable to all these things that are coming in. Okay? Because that is necessary. Here we have Hermes, which is the magician in this deck. Because all this phase in the journey is necessary for them to come into their own power and take their place as the co-creator of your combined realities. To bring that down and manifest it. So this is the will to manifest all this. But first, he or she has to go through this. Okay? So anyway, let's get to the reading. This, for those who have just joined the channel, this side is for the divine masculine, this side is for the divine feminine. And of course, I'd like to thank all of you for all your comments, your likes, your shares, subscribes, and the donations that you've been giving for the energy exchange for these free readings. Thank you so much for all of that. Okay, so anyway, let's get on for the divine masculine. The first card we have for the divine masculine is the Falling Cups. This is the Five of Cups, and usually this card, this indicates either the regret, disappointment. It's an epiphany of things, opportunities that were lost, wasted. And in some cases, this could indicate a parting of ways. But there are some feelings regarding that something was said too soon, that you get what I'm saying? There was a disconnect. Perhaps the words used, because we all know through the readings, especially last week, that the divine masculine needs to detach, to find himself, to give himself space in order for this realization of who he is to anchor. And in his soul's desire to find itself, he is needing to detach, to meditate by himself, get a handle on things. But sometimes, even if that is his ultimate goal, words are said that sound harsher, especially if you're not anchored in 5D and you don't really realize to what end he is doing this detachment. But if you are a twin and you believe that both of you are coming together and that this is a journey of each twin, first to find himself, herself, and then once that is found and that is inviolable and intact, then that's when the attraction towards your other half will occur. Okay? So anyway, we'll pick clarifying cards for that. Quite a bit of messages in the first card. Okay. The second card is the Queen of Staffs. And the Queen of Staffs, this would most likely indicate his divine feminine. Okay, she's very refined. She carries this torch, this very refined torch, and this is her desires coming to the fore. So you can see here disappointment regarding something about the divine feminine, whether that's the way he treated her, he said something to her, he acted towards her, or even just in retrospect that he's now realizing what a wasted opportunity he had with the Queen of Staffs. Okay, and the next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. And here, this is a journey home towards the soul. Here we have this castle. Atop this cup, which is the beginning of this new heart-centered reality that we have all contributed in anchoring in and ushering in this new earth. Okay, and it's more stable because that's a castle here. With other decks, and I was guided to use this deck, with other decks it could be what, goldfish coming into the cup, but here this is a castle, very stable, very secure, and that falls under, look, the divine feminine, and that's what he has sort of regretful, disappointed feelings for. And the next card that we have here is another ace. This is the Ace of Swords. And in the Ace of Swords, this is the beginning of his new truth. And that's why he's also realizing, I was going to say what an arse has been, but okay. And that's realizing how his actions could have been better, how he could have handled the situation better. Because needing some time away to figure things out is different from saying, I don't want you, not in my life, get away from me. And that's dawning on him now. That's why there are messages from the bird there. Okay, so let's pick some clarifying cards for these. But here, look, Divine Masculine continuing his journey. We have two aces here. Okay, beginning the truth about what's happened before. Okay, and then this beginning regarding the divine feminine that is anchored on these new energies that have come in and that have been solidified by solstice energies. Okay, Okay, for the for the falling cups, see, there's change. There's change from the moon to the sun, meaning that he's being enlightened by this, because this pertains to something that's happened in the past or is currently going on, okay? And I know from some of my clients that some of them, their divine masculines or their divine partners have somewhat taken a step back. But don't worry, just keep stabilized in 5D. It's all part of the journey because they have to find themselves. That's why this falling cups, look, there's a change from the moon being shrouded in darkness and going to being enlightened about this situation, whether that was their detachment, separation, or lost opportunities. And for the Queen of Staffs, okay, see here, along with the this epiphany is the discovery of his relationship with the Queen of Staffs, which would be the divine feminine. And you see here that they use a telescope to discover the stars. And from where they are, let's say, because this is also a metaphor, because here the telescope would be on Earth, the stars would be in the heavens. So while the divine masculine was still being, firmly grounded in 3D energies and still on his journey towards ascension, now he's in the process, because we have the Ace of Swords here, of discovering who his divine feminine really is to him. And that required distance. Okay? For the Ace of Cups, for the Ace of Cups here. Okay. This is saying this is being handicapped, having a difficult time in establishing this new beginning, because he's still, because this energy, remember, in realizing what he's done, the import of what he's done, this is like a twist in the end of a movie, wherein everything plays back. I know I've mentioned this before already, but it's just like that, wherein things play back in their head. But the thing is, when that happens, and he realizes there is deeper import to an event that happened, a conversation that was said, then he could, it depends, he has the free will to react to that. And he could either feel guilt, shame at first, okay? And that's why the divine feminine is working, helping him, assisting him energetically to rise above those initial feelings that come with programmed reactions related to who society expects the divine masculine to be. Okay, so that's why there is a bit of difficulty here in establishing this with regard to his divine feminine. And for the Ace of Swords, okay, see here, with his enlightenment come gifts. The gifts that come with realizing what your powers are as a twin, what you can do to create, to transmute all these gifts that most of those who are watching this video, they already have an inkling if they're not using it already in their personal missions. Okay, So that's going to come pouring in for him, and he's going to realize that, wow, I'm more than just the average human. I can do all this. And let's see what this card has for us. So here, self. Again, divine masculine, still working on himself, being assisted by this dragon fire. And yes, that reminds me, thank you for all your wonderful feedback. For those who have gotten advanced RASHEEBA sessions for them and their twin, okay, because a lot of those who've gotten it, they write me, and yes, you're very welcome. Usually they thank me, but I just don't have time to go through all the messages. And they do give feedback on what's happened to them and what they feel after the RASHEEBA sessions. And here, the Divine Masculine, with these cards, still working on himself. We see here the 3 doves helping him. These are his angels, archangels. We see the dragon fire, that's why I mentioned the RASHEEBA, helping him activate his higher heart. Okay, and that's what you get with the advanced, not the basic RASHEEBA. Okay, so there. Okay, let's go now to the Divine Feminine. The first card for the Divine Feminine is the 2 of Cups, and this indicates she's still basking in this energy of love, of partnership, of affection. Truly, this also really very heartwarming news, because most of the Divine Feminines are staying the course. Okay, it's like being a massive crystal that is truly anchored here on earth and continuing to amplify these energies that we are being bombarded with, especially with the solstice energies, and the photonic light that's just raining down here on earth to help change the matrix. Okay, and the next card that we have here is the Justice card, and here this is sort of usually the Justice card indicates balance, but here in this particular deck you can see here the Divine Feminine is holding her scales, but the scales are still askew. And that's because in her other hand, instead of, balancing these scales and just concentrating on it, she's in the process of handing this sword to the Divine Masculine who is on his horse. He's just about to take his journey. He has his shield there, which mirrors the scales. But still, the shield is not, up in game form, okay, in fighting position. So, because he still doesn't have all his tools to get on his mission. And that is what the Divine Feminine is handing him at this moment, all the while trying to balance these scales. See, both are still not balanced, but in the process of doing so. Because once this sword has been handed over, look, both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, they'll be able to hold up at the proper angle, the proper position, those tools that they need to do what they're supposed to do. Okay? And the next card we have for the Divine Feminine is the Lady of Staffs. Here we have an unrefined staff. And the lady here, she's sort of holding the light here in this desert. And you can see here the staff, instead of just being dead wood, it has life in it. You can see it by the new leaves. And this is still a lady because she's still on her this journey as regards fully lighting this staff. And having these flames go down and truly burn even these leaves. So this also represents holding up this flame, this fire, under a change of circumstances. And you can see here, where was that? Okay, this change of circumstances mirrors this also. This is a change in the way things are. Falling cups. Oops, sorry. Okay, and it mirrors that. But she's holding the flame up because the divine feminine, remember, you are the energetic leader. If it is the divine masculine that is still unawakened, she's holding this flame up so that, as I explained earlier, the divine masculine has the free will to choose how he will react to his epiphany of what happened. And it is imperative, part of this balancing, you know, this handing off of the tools that the divine masculine needs, that she holds her own during this change of circumstances. Okay, and the last card we have for the divine feminine is the Hermit card. And here the Hermit holds the mysteries of this universe, as represented by the 7-pointed star. He is on an elevated platform. It's like he's on top of a cliff, a mountain, and in any case, it's an elevated perspective of things. And he's keeping that in sight while holding energetically, trying to transmute the situation for herself and for her divine masculine. That's why look at this Hermit. While it is dusk, it is also enshrouded in violet, which would be the colors for transmutation. So what this is saying is that because you hold the bigger picture, you can already see the bigger picture of things, of why things have to play out the way they're playing out. Then they have the capacity to transmute that and help the divine masculines transmute the energies related to his awakening. Not the energies, but rather the emotions that calls up. Okay, because usually if you haven't achieved a certain level of mastery yet, you will be like a barometer of your emotions, where you feel this, and then so all your actions, reactions will be because you feel this. But once you have achieved a certain level of mastery, then you can separate the emotion from what is the higher good, the divine blueprint, and that's when you know that you're stable. Because you're going to be like an observer. All these things just happening in 3D. But you know, that's why you don't react like and be everyone else's emotional barometer, is because you know you have the capacity to transmute and change the energy and to create the situation you want. Okay? And the card for the divine feminine this week is, look, wow, the Two of Cups, still very much anchored in love, continuing to keep focus on this energetic exchange. And you see here both couples, they're emanating this yellow light from their higher heart. This is the Christ consciousness that's emanating between them. And the blues here represent their emotions, but that is transmuted to this aura of Christ consciousness, the third energy that twin flames are supposed to make. Look, if you see here these cards, while the Divine Masculine is concentrating on finding this within himself, this energy, the Divine Feminine already sort of putting out that frequency in order to attract him once he finds that. So it's all really in the divine order of things. So let's pick a card in the middle, okay, that connects their energies for this week. Okay, we have here is Gamos, the Judgment card, a call. To rise up. So again, this is a continuation of this awakening. It's not just going to happen in a snap. Remember, although energetically it happens really quickly, even, you know, faster than light, than the movement of light or sound. Remember, when it comes down to earth, it has to become dense. It's like it's converted. It reminds me of, you know how currency sockets, okay? In the West, most of your voltage is 110. And if you travel, you'd know this, because this would be a practical problem. Because once you get here to Asia, all the sockets, they're mostly 220 volts. So your electrical appliances, they have to be converted. Okay, the voltage, because you're using 110, you need a transformer for those appliances to work here. Okay, so that's just it. This lag of time, of catching up, of the manifestation in 3D, it's because of this conversion into something dense. Okay, and that's what I have for you this week, and I did promise you a tool. So I have several tools already in the energetic toolbox, and I thank those who have been helped and assisted. And I'm saying this because of all your feedback. And of course, I don't post it, but you mail them to me, and thank you for that. I did promise you a tool for abundance, and that's what I have for this, for a special. Okay, I have Celestial Abundance Encoding, and this is for twins. Remember, right now, while the Divine Masculine is focusing on himself, in order for the Divine Feminine to snap out of that waiting, that lack, that feeling of separation, it's best to co-create. Okay? Meaning create your own reality, your own abundance first, and remove those feelings of scarcity and lack. And that is how the Celestial Abundance Encoding will help you. Because this is an ethereal citrine crystal that is implanted in your solar plexus. So for those who need work in their solar plexus, okay, this would be a good tool. Because here, this helps you exude an aura of abundance, prosperity, and success. Really, and you activate it. Okay, you can, because sometimes the energies are so high, you can deactivate it, especially when you want to go to sleep. And I actually forgot that I had this tool inside of me. I wasn't activating it for a while, but then it's a different energy once you activate it again, because you feel that you lack for nothing. You're complete, and if there is something that you don't have yet, that you're going to have it. No question, no doubt. It's that feeling. Okay? And then this helps you because it keeps you in a higher vibration. It helps draws those high vibration frequencies that are attuned to the circumstances that you want to manifest. So you pull in, like attracts like, and then you get to manifest what you want. And this is an attunement that's going to be sent via Orb of Life. Okay, this is the first time I'm giving attunements, and you will receive the manual. Once you receive this crystal inside of you, once it's encoded, you will have the ability to pass it on to others. Of course, using the instructions in the manual. Anyway, do check that out. And of course, like I said earlier, for those who'd like to help their divine masculines or even themselves, activate this higher heart consciousness. There is the RASHEEBA healings and the heart chakra reiki for that. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. Take care. Bye.